Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Make Believe, where we're playing The House in Fata Morgana. Last time we met the maid, it seems we have memory loss as the master, and so she's showing a story about the past to us. She's somehow traveled back in time to narrate a story about Mell and Nelli roads. Not really sure where the story is going, but right now we're celebrating Nelly's birthday. I guess we'll see where that leads. Enter the Mansion Inspector members. Yeah, there we go. Mell Rhodes. That's the name of the memory? Yeah, let me look at that again. Look at that. Mell Rhodes. The autosaves you and the maid. I guess it's showing like who's the character in the story is being told. Were you down at the church again today, Mel? Yeah, there was something I didn't know how to translate, so I went to look it up. Wow, so diligent. I can't say I really like the priest there personally, though. Actually, I kind of feel the same way. What? Really? Why? Oh, you know, I have my reasons. So even you don't always like the priest, huh? Let's skip Mass on Sunday then. We can go play. No skipping church. As grew the brother, so too did the sister. That day, Nelly would be turning 14, and Mel, 3 years her senior, was 17. You saw it with your own eyes, so you know just how much she has changed. She was a cute little girl, and she grew into an even more beautiful young woman. Though she was only 14, she was well on her way to becoming a fine lady. As for her character, well... but a girl like that has her own charms, would you not say? Drifting down the river of time, the two siblings mature into healthy young adults, but the core of the relationship did not change in the slightest. Nelly was very much attached to her brother, and as much as Mel complained, he still cared deeply for his sister. Around the time the sun had begun to set, carriages lining up outside as well-dressed aristocrats made their way into the house. As Nelly had suspected, the majority of them were boys. Which is kind of ironic, because nowadays a 14-year-old girl's birthday would be full of girls instead. Because all her friends and stuff. Yes, I understand. You don't need to say anything more. Rose Manor, right? Okay, we'll go together. Me? Alone? No, please don't make me. The inhabitants of Rose Manor are surely living quite contented lives. And I'm sure they don't remember a thing. What do you mean by remember a thing? Oh, more music. Like the music here is very... Okay, that was fast. Very prominent. Which is interesting. The room with the fireplace was always kept in pristine condition, so they could entertain guests at any time. Walls colorfully decorated with tapestry and stained glass windows, that's what I was trying to remember last time, gave testament to their great fortune. The servant's first assignment every morning was to clean this room. Pitchers, silver plates, and silverware were polished to shine so they could be proudly put to use at a moment's notice. And for events like their daughter's birthday, the room served an even more important role. The tabletops were removable, so they had ordered new tabletops with designs made especially for this occasion. and once the banquet had drawn to a close, tables specked with half-empty wine glasses and leftover candied fruits were moved off to the side to make room for, of course, the festivities. Good evening, Lady Nelli. You're looking particularly lovely today. Nelly, I had this juice cut out. Nelly, I had those jewels cut out just for you. You let me have this dance, won't you? What's the matter, Nelly? You look exhausted. She really does. Look at the bags on her eyes. And the facial expression. These are pretty good. Want one? I know you like sweets. They're apple candied and rock sugar, I think. You disappoint me, dearest Mell. What do you think is the matter? They just keep coming. It never ends. It's driving me up the wall. Everyone just repeating the same lines they've been taught. They all think pretty jewels and requests to dance are enough to make a girl swoon. But I think that is true for you, Nelly. Though, why is she disappointed with me? Ugh, I think I'm done with birthday parties after this year. They'll probably throw an even bigger one next year, in fact. Huh? Why? Well, you know, you're about that age, Nelly. We are a reasonably distinguished family, so there are a number of different houses that would like to have connection with us. So what you're saying is, do it for the family? No, that's not. I won't date or marry anyone. I have no interest in being used as the pawn in the inter-family politics. I do agree with that. Like, it's horrible to have the children being used as pawns just to have the families intertwine in power and everything. Pawn? I wouldn't go that far. And I'm sure Father wants to let you choose yourself. You know, someone you actually love. Love? I never thought I would hear you talk about love, dearest Mell. You got me there. You don't even understand what makes Shakespeare's play so beautiful, and you're talking about love. You fell asleep during Romeo and Juliet, and you're talking about love? We went all the way to the Globe Theater, too. Well, pardon me for being ignorant when it comes to romance and arts. But you're not out, Nelly. Shakespeare's make-believe story made you cry like a baby. Anyone would cry at that, and you have to be crazy to sleep through it. That's not what I was saying. Someone as emotionally vibrant as you, Nelly, would have no problem finding love. Ah, dearest Mell, we should dance. Lady Nelly, could I have this? Let's dance, dearest Mell. What? Me? Wait up. Come on, I really like this song. Quit pulling on me, Nelly. What's the point of us dancing? We're siblings. Mother and father are staring daggers at us. No matter. What day is it today, dearest Mell? Your birthday. Exactly. So I can do what I want. Now, attend to your princess, as a proper prince should. Oh, jeez. How did I get myself into this? Nelly's skirt fluttered along with her as she stepped in time to the music. So this is the music she loves, huh? She was not only a skilled singer, but a skilled dancer as well. Mell, on the other hand, fumbled over his own feet, trying to keep up. One would be hard-pressed to describe his dancing ability as good, even as flattery. Though boys of his pedigree were taught to dance as part of their etiquette lessons, he found himself more being dragged around by his sister. He could hardly be said to be attending to her. Oh, I like the model is moving side to side dancing. This is humiliating. Because his parents had been hands-off in raising him, largely giving him free rein to study and learn what he pleased, Mell looked like a tangled-up marionette. From throughout the hall, he could hear giggling, uncomfortable chuckling, and people coughing to disguise their laughter. Come now, dearest Mell. If this is the best you can manage, what are you going to do when you find a girl that catches your eye? I won't, so it doesn't matter. Follow my lead, Mell. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nelli alone enjoyed her time dancing with her brother, and quite thoroughly at that. It did not matter to her that he moved awkwardly on, or that the guests were giving them cold stares. It was their parents who first cracked under the pressure, just as their father was about to give an exaggerated cough and stop the music. A ruckus suddenly swelled up near the entrance. What could that be? Who knows? Whatever's going on, I've been spared. The music came to a stop, and the party guests began bustling. The sibling's father spoke up sternly above the noise in order to quell the spreading commotion. He ordered the servants to investigate, had the music restarted, gave a short apology for the interruption, and set the party back on course. I went to check on the entrance with the other servants, as I recall. Yeah, she's one of the servants, of course. Oh my, why are you looking at me like that? These are not my memories, but those which do within the mansion. Do you think we should be following what happens next from my perspective, then? That is not what confused you? Well, your question shall be answered in time. Yeah, how about the memories that dwell in the mansion? How can we see those? In time. Now, let us return to our tale. Though the party had fallen still for a moment, their father's decisive actions restored the guests' festive moods in short order. So it was not, by any means, the commotion that caused the ball to conclude earlier than planned. Oh dear, I hear thunder. It was rather loud too. Sounded like we have quite the storm brewing. They lived in a country where the weather was nothing but unpredictable. Rain was a frequent occurrence there. The stretches of time with clear skies grew longer as summer approached, but the weather was still somewhat unstable on the cusp of the two seasons. They had a strong wind that night as well, which turned the raindrops into little spears on the windows. Were the party to continue on any longer, no one would be able to go home. Although their father was quite concerned that Nelli had not gone on with any of the aristocratic boys, he decided to cut the festivities short. Thank goodness it ended early. How lucky I am. This must be the blessing for always being such a good girl. I'm not sure having your own party cut short counted as lucky. But it was fun. It was no fun. I can help if I'm not enjoying myself. And for heaven's sake, Arthur was here. I have no interest in dancing with that dunce. Arthur? Who's that again? Someone who was here? Unbelievable. You don't remember anything, do you, dearest Mel? He came over to play a few times when we were little. He's covered in gross freckles, and he's a huge jerk. He said my hair looked like the color of fallen leaves. Fallen leaves! Just thinking about the ugly smirk has me fuming. And yet, he acts like nothing happened. He even calls me Lady Nelli, for goodness sake. Are you listening, dearest Mel? I'm listening. I wonder what the ruckus earlier was, though. Ugh, you weren't listening, were you? Who cares about that? Sorry, but aren't you curious? It probably wasn't another guest, at least. Maybe a cat sneaked in and made that much noise? You think so? It sounded like knocking on the door. I do. But enough about that. Would you like to play cards in my room, dearest Mel? Seriously? I'm exhausted though. It's not even that late. Fine. Something feels kind of off. Cat? Really? I want to go check. Come on, hurry up. Hold on. You don't need to drag me, Nelly. My birthday isn't over yet, so you're not done attending to me. Oh, Nelly. Did it say like "E historia continua"? Like, and the story continues? If so, that's kind of cool. What's up with this? And I do like the rose pattern, which is probably like the emblem of the family. The Rhodes family. The Rose mansion. The Rose Manor. The rain just won't let up. I can't sleep. I wonder what the commotion earlier was about. Oh, for goodness sake. It's all the storm's fault. That's why I can't sleep. I'm just fretting over nothing. Yeah, that must be it. I'm sure Nelly was right. It was just a cat. Maybe a dog, even. I can't sleep. I hardly ever had this much trouble falling asleep. What could this feeling be, I wonder? It's not quite foreboding. Walking around the house at this time of night isn't going to help anything. But I'm not going to fall asleep just lying here. The only sound that could be heard in the dark corridors were the sharp pitter-patter of the rain, his footsteps, and his breathing. Though he was intimately familiar with the layout of the house, that night the hallways felt like an endless labyrinth filled in shadows. No moonlight shone through the windows, so he naturally found himself moving cautiously, despite being in his own residence. Keeping the palm of his hand pressed up against the chilly wall, he put one foot in front of the other. But where was he supposed to be headed? Well, Mel, of course, had no way of answering that question himself. If he had anything, it was guidance from above, the path to his destination lit by flashes of lightning. Or perhaps there was something else leading him along. Though he progressed with a fair bit of hesitation in his step, Mel was slowly but surely drawing nearer to one room in particular. He made his way through the seemingly endless halls, Past the living room, its fireplace long since cooled. Into another corridor. And then stopped outside an Abigail's bedchamber. The dim glow of a lamp spilled through the cracks in the door. A gust of wind is not necessary to make a flame flicker. A person's movement or vibrations in the air from someone speaking, the slightest of motions can cause the light of a fire to quiver, shifting subtly as though nudged by an invisible fingertip. I can see light from the side. Is she still awake? Is this Nelli's room? Voice. He seemed to be hesitating. It would not be difficult for him to approach the door and peer inside, but he had reservation about peeping in another's chamber, even if it was his own house. Moreover, this room was assigned to a woman. Now, is it maybe the maid or another maid? There was a woman behind that door. What would you do, master, in this situation? Would you succumb to your curiosity and gaze inside? Or would you respect the owner's privacy? I shouldn't be doing this. But the voice, it feels like it's calling to me? Or is it someone else? Yes, me. Could sense someone watching me at that moment. So it was her room. He had succumbed to his curiosity. He stood on the other side of the door from me, his flaxen eyes open wide, trying to remain as invisible as possible. The wavering in his heart seemed to create faint ripples in the air, which I pretended not to notice. Yes, I knew he was there. I could sense his presence and his wavering emotions. However, I could not begin to speculate as to his true feelings, or how great a surprise this was to him. I too am discovering new facets of this tale by viewing it through the eyes of the mansion. But it is not I who is of concern, master, it is you. You and... I know I shouldn't be doing this. I should be ashamed of myself. But I can't look away. Who's that? Oh, that's the other girl in the title screen. But that's not the maid, even though she was saying that she was in there. Is there another girl in here, or... Her skin, it's so pale you can practically see through it. Is it that white because she was out in the cold rain? Her hair is white as snow, and her eyes, they're like, how do I describe it? I don't know. I can't see her eyes. My vocabulary truly lacks for situations like this. They look like blood? No, that's just too disturbing. Then wine, perhaps? No, more translucent than that. Gemstones, then. Yes, gemstones. And who was talking to him? Her eyes are like rubies. I've never seen anyone like her before. What could they be talking about? Okay, they'd be talking, so it's the maid and this girl in the room. Mel's eyes were fixed on the peculiar young woman. Is he gonna fall in love with this young woman? She had glass-like skin, eyes that glimmered in the flickering candlelight, and snow-white hair that flowed like luxurious silk. But her lips were bluish-purple, her soft, delicate skin sullied with grime, her twinkling eyes pointed down at the floor, and her hair a disheveled mess. I wouldn't really call this a disheveled mess, but okay. She was, even at a glance, clearly not a lady of means. The tips of her fingers were cracked from the cold, her nails pale from the malnutrition, and her garb A little more than rags, I would say. However, true beauty is always visible, no matter what it may be hidden underneath. Under, be, ugh, no matter what it may be hidden beneath. Why was that hard to say? Even wrapped in a veil of insalubrity. Even if she thought herself hideous, I wonder what happened to her. Mell could no longer avert his gaze from the girl's visage. He had, for the time being, forgotten the shame he felt for peeping. As he strained his ears to hear the conversation taking place inside, a sickly voice arose from the white-haired girl's purple lips. So feeble was the sound that a gentle breeze blowing through the room could carry it away. I apologize for the trouble. Think nothing of it. Give your apologies and thanks to the mistress. Understood. There is something strangely comforting about this house. Almost as if I've been here before. If my father were here, I'm sure he would be quite fond of it. I'm sorry about your father. That's not... There's nothing you could have done, I imagine. When you came to our rescue, he was already... Rescue? Father? Was that, perchance, what the commotion was about? He stared intently, entranced by the scene unfolding beyond the door. A gaze can often signal one's presence to others more effectively than words. The white-haired girl would likely sense him there as well. She flicked her gem-like eyes upward. Oh, now we see her eyes. That was when the boy finally felt a pang of panic. For a split second, his flaxen eyes met her ruby eyes, causing him to recoil from the door. His heart was pounding like the rain outside. Careful not to make a sound, he took 2 steps away. Did she catch me? I'm not sure. It was only for a moment. She can't have seen me. Of course not. The boy did not have the courage to peek on the room a second time, so he cautiously returned to his bedchamber as quietly as he could manage. But even beneath his covers, he could not erase the girl's eyes from his memory. Her melancholic red irises, her voice, delicate as a glass sculpture, her pale, almost lifeless skin, her pure white hair. Every singular detail kept him from banishing her image from his mind. Nor could he restrain his heavily pounding heart. I do feel like he's in love. Or maybe he's just scared and that's why his heart's beating that much. Who could she be? And there we go, we have the maid with the white hair girl. It's something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It's only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Unseen force? Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It is called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that is not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within this house. A witch? I have not heard of any such stories. You probably wouldn't have. It was very, very long time ago. Now grab my hand as we walk through down memory lane. And we go through a cycle like this. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. Should I consider that a compliment? It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing? Yes? I do not believe you have given me your name yet. My name is... And we get cliffhanger. L. Her name is Mell. Dun dun dun. Nah, I guess somebody's trying to wake Mell up right now, actually. Ugh. Wake up. Ugh. Get up, Mell. What? Huh? It's morning? You disappoint me, dearest Mell. It's very much long since morning. And she's still wearing the dress. I didn't see you at breakfast, so I came to find out what was the matter. I really been asleep that long? And father was too lenient on you, dearest Mell. Oversleeping is hardly proper behavior for a firstborn son. I know. But before that... Yes, dearest Mell? What are you doing in here? You can't just go prance into a boy's bedchamber. Leave that to the servants. I did send one for you. You're the one who refused to wake up. Besides, it's not like we're strangers. We used to sleep together all the time. That was long ago. Things are different now. Oh, you're overthinking it, silly. Now hurry up. Out of bed, sleepyhead. Alright, I'm getting up. So you can see yourself out. Oh my, you look awful, dearest Mell. For someone who overslept, you look like you didn't get a wink last night. You think so? You didn't go out on the town last night, did you? Naughty boy. I would never. You know that. You squeaked. Don't think I believe you. I didn't go out last night or anything. I'm tired because you had me playing cards until late, Nelly. Hey, we weren't playing for that long. Besides, look at me. I got up just fine. Anyway, shoo. I can get dressed with you in here. Fine, I'm leaving. Oof. Oh, I almost forgot, dearest Mell. What now? Come on, no need to be so mean. I'm sure you'll be quite surprised at the news. Oh? At breakfast, which you missed, Father told us. Told you what? Do I really want to say it? It sounds like you want me out of your room, dearest Mell. Please, Nelly. We got a new maid today. For a house we have ties to, supposedly. Ah, it's the white-haired girl. I never seen anyone like her before. For supposedly coming from a good family, she isn't very graceful. I've never seen her at social gatherings. But that's not the surprising part. Does that maid... She's peculiar. Has a very unusual appearance, that one. Have white hair? What? How do you know that, dearest Mell? Uh-oh. Thanks, Nelly. Hey, get back here. Oh, for goodness sake. What's got into him? You're not even gonna get changed, Mell? At the time, the majority of servants at the mansion were men. However, the ladies of the house all had abigails, so there were several women servants, myself included. I have no idea what's abigail. The maid, by and large, were selected from the daughters of others esteemed families. It was, you could say, a sort of training before they entered society. The girls would serve at houses even more powerful than their own, and the white-haired girl Mel saw the night before was one such maid. When he heard this, Mel could not sit still any longer. Oh, I didn't really think this through, did I? I don't even know where she is. I'm guessing she's probably Mother's maid. White hair. It has to be the girl from last night, right? But deep down, he was having difficulty believing the young woman he had seen the previous night was truly here to be a servant. And can you blame him? When he saw her, she was an absolute mess, hardly what you would envision for a girl of class. But he did not seek her to find out whether that was true or not. He merely wanted to see her once more, to ascertain whether what he had witnessed the previous night was real or his imagination. You know, like a typical boy in love. And he wanted to have an actual conversation with her. I don't want to run into Mother. That would be awkward. He was heading towards his mother's bedchamber, but the closer he drew, the heavier each step grew. He rounded a corner, debating whether or not to head back, and stopped in his tracks. On occasion, wishes do come true. When Mel turned the corner, he saw her, the same girl, the same white hair. Oh, and that's her as a maid. Ah, she appeared to be cleaning the hallway. She traced along the wooden card lining the walls, making certain not to miss even a speck of dirt. The girl wore a pristine dress, the uniform of the mansion's Abigails. There was no longer any filth to obscure her beauty. All that had covered her pure white hair and glass-like skin was no longer. The one thing that had not changed was her listless ruby eyes. Pardon me. Hearing his footsteps, the young woman raised her head. She caught Mel's gaze and for a brief moment merely blinked in silence. Lord Mel, yes? Your father informed me of you. Did he? I guess I don't need to introduce myself then. I believe she made an attempt to smile, though it was difficult to tell, and she quickly dropped her gaze back to the floor. Flex and Ruby met only for the briefest moment. She seemed to be looking at both someone and no one at all. Everyone here truly has the most beautiful color of hair. Did you have business with the mistress, Lord Mel? I can let her know, if you'd like. No, I was looking for you, actually. For me? Mel felt as though all the blood in his body had begun to flow backwards. He could not effectively describe the sensation, but in a word, it resembled panic. On his way to find her, Mel had come up with a number of subjects he wanted to talk about, and he generally had a little trouble speaking with others. He hadn't less experience interacting with women, this was true, but the time he had spent around Nelli had kept him from stumbling too much. Until then, that is. Yes, for you. Why would you be looking for me, Lord Mel? I was wondering how you were doing. Yes, that's it. Pardon? I'm quite fine. Good. That's great to hear. You fool, Mel. What are you even saying? Yep, definitely a boy in love. You have more important things to ask, like where she came from, or to tell her she has pretty hair and eyes. But I don't want to trouble her too much. Lord Mel? Yes? Sorry, you just suddenly fell silent. Was I, in your way? In my way? No, not at all. Well, what are you up to, anyways? Um, Cleaning? Oh, yeah, I didn't even need to ask. You're cleaning. Mm, Uh, oh, you can just let the other servants take care of the cleaning. You're one of the noble's daughters we took in, right? Then why is mother making... No, I'm doing this because I want to. The mistress appeared to be busy, and I could not simply be idle. But I enjoy cleaning. Well, if you say so. Say, yesterday, this mansion is truly a thing of beauty. All the many roads in the garden, even the furnishing, has had a great deal of thought put into it. This family must have a wonderful sense of aesthetic. Oh, yeah, thanks. Did she just change the subject on me? I'm delighted to have been given the opportunity to serve such a magnificent house. Madam Father actually had nothing to do with that. Not even the garden. That's all been around since my grandfather's time. This mansion was a complete wreck when he bought it. Oh, was it? Yeah, frankly, I'm surprised he actually paid money for it. The chandelier in the foyer was shattered and only half attached to the ceiling. Most of the decorations on the walls were broken too. I can hardly imagine. This is marvelous. Impressive house. I'm sure he'd be flattered to hear it. My grandfather was a bit of an eccentric. He liked to do things people didn't expect, just to watch the look of surprise on their faces. This seems like a fun, but also exhausting individual to be around. He was the kind of man who would buy a mansion that was beyond repair just to give it a complete new life. Completely new life. Everyone who had seen the property before it was renovated was astonished. They regretted not taking the opportunity themselves, seeing the transformation it underwent. Huh? I was just thinking that you're kind of like this house. What do you mean by that? Yeah, hold on. Be careful what you say there, Mel. I mean, when you first arrived... Oh, no, never mind. Forget it. She'll freak out. You were peeping on her, stupid. She hasn't yet, has she? Yes. It's nothing. The more I think about it, you and the mansion aren't really comparable. Oh? The truth is, it's being a rundown mess isn't the only reason nobody wants to buy the house. They say... Oh? That all who dwell within this house shall be met with misfortune. Do you believe it? I'm just kidding. It's not actually true. It's all rumors and hearsay, embellished to make the tale more exciting. The rumors only started because of how he used to look. If the mansion truly begot misfortune, then we wouldn't still be here. And it wouldn't explain how my grandfather died. Do you know how he passed away? No. How did he? Inside a lovely lady. Oh. Well then. What? Believe it or not, that was how he died. Together with a young, beautiful woman. His time ran out while he was making love to her, they say. A rather crude way to go. Did he have a heart attack? But he was hardly misfortunate. What did I tell you? Ah, yes? And just so you know, I promise I didn't inherit my grandfather's propensity for such base behavior. I am pure of body and spirit, dedicated wholly to my studies, so... Hey, she left. My apologies. No, it's fine. Anyway, we were talking about the mansion, right? I always thought it was kind of a strange place myself. That dress you're wearing, it was found here after my grandfather bought it. You don't see that kind of design around these parts, so I'm guessing it was probably imported. The architecture is really old-fashioned too, which must have caught grandfather's eye. When he announced his plans to buy it, the entire family opposed his decision, but he refused to budge. Renovation upon renovation gave the mansion new life, but all of his work, he was more fond of the roses in the garden. He collected species from all across the world, and every time he got a new one, he would summon gardeners to arrange and grow them. It took incredibly long to complete. There were even some that wouldn't grow in the climate of this land, but grandfather refused to give in. He truly loved roses. Me, I don't really get how could someone be so impassioned about them. It's just embarrassing every time someone calls this house Rose Manor. Perhaps the roses were meant for someone. What? I'm simply speculating. Roses make wonderful gifts, after all. Indeed, they do. If you like roses as much as Nelly, then you're welcome to go see them for yourself. Pick as many as you like. If anyone asks, just say I gave you permission. Don't be shy. I'm sure it'll get tiring if all you do is work. No, I'm sensitive to sunlight. Is she a vampire? Oh, that's unusual. I mean, I thought about her being a vampire because of her pale skin and the red eyes, but the sensitive to sunlight is even a bigger, warning. Oh, that's unusual. Perhaps that explains why you're so pale. I had no idea. That sounds rough. And your skin's pretty too. You don't seem terribly surprised. What? Oh no, I'm very much surprised. Or would you have preferred a more dramatic response? No, I expected you to find it disturbing. I'm sensitive to sunlight and can hardly spend any time outside. That makes me sound like some kind of demonic creature, like a vampire. Oh, you worry too much. There's not a monster in the world as sweet as you. Yes? Are the other maids teasing you, perhaps? A black-haired one especially, how should I put it? A little frightening. Almost as if she has a steel heart or something. She's impenetrable. Right? She's one of Mother's maid too, isn't she? Now I'm even more worried. Since you refuse to follow my instructions, you're henceforth hellspawn. I can imagine her saying that. Oh, and again. I'm very sorry. No need to apologize. In fact, I wish you left more. She's actually very kind to me. And everything she does with incredible precision and efficiency. Look at that faint smile. She looks so young, and yet she has such skill. How long has she been here in this mansion? Actually, she's been here for quite some time. But I don't know exactly how long. No one knows how old she is. It's kind of creepy. I have never once considered her such. Sorry, you're right. It's bad manners to speak ill of others. Either way, she still scares me. It's like there's no light in her eyes. Or like her smiles are all faked. That doesn't make her any less pretty though, I'll admit. The conversation died. I had to think of something else to talk about. Oh, yes. You can ask me anything. Does the master, your father, Lord Mell, often retire from the mansion? I have not seen him around. Oh, yeah. Father frequently returns home. This mansion is actually our secondary house. Why do you ask, though? I was just curious, nothing more. Oh? Yes? What is it? One of the maids asked to see me, so I should be on my way. If you excuse me? What? Alright. See you later. Goodbye. Oh, right. One moment. Since you're sensitive to the sun, I can pick some roses from time to time for you. For you to decorate your room. Yes, that. Lord Mell. That's all. Sorry for holding you up. Why am I so bad at this? She definitely thinks I'm obnoxious now. I want to hide under a rock. I want to reverse time and try this over again. Roses are not becoming of me. He's too kind. Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing that. And the story continues, which is very lovely. But I think we're gonna be stopping here. We had Nelly's birthday, and we had meeting the white-haired girl, which we still don't know her name. So we had introduction of another character, introduction of her, which seems to have conquered Mel's heart, where so far he had not seemed interested in romance at all. Now he's very much interested in her. And she very much reminds of a vampire. Pale skin, the red eyes, sensitive to sunlight. Now, I'm not entirely sure there's vampires in this, or if that's just like referencing vampire kind of stuff. So yeah. But that's all for today, and hope we'll learn more about it next time. So with that being said, see you next time. Bye.